Once upon a time, in a small village surrounded by towering mountains, there lived a young boy named Ethan. Ethan was kind at heart, but had a fiery temper that often got the best of him. He would get upset over little things, lash out at his friends, and regret it later. One day, after an argument with his best friend, Ethan stormed out of the village, his emotions swirling like a storm. He wandered aimlessly until he found himself at the base of the mountains. The towering peaks loomed over him, their silence almost mocking his frustration. In a burst of anger, Ethan cupped his hands and yelled at the mountain, "I hate you!" To his shock, the mountain roared back, "I hate you!" The words echoed fiercely, bouncing from peak to peak, growing louder with each repetition. Startled, Ethan yelled again, "Stop that!" But the mountain simply replied, "Stop that!" Feeling defeated, Ethan slumped to the ground. Tears of frustration welled up in his eyes. "Why does the mountain hate me?" he muttered to himself. At that moment, a calm voice interrupted his thoughts. It was Master Li, a wise Zen monk who lived in the village and often wandered these paths. "What troubles you, young one?" Master Li asked gently. Ethan looked up and poured out his frustration. "The mountain hates me," I yelled, and it yelled back even louder. Master Li chuckled softly and sat beside him. "The mountain doesn't hate you, Ethan. It's simply giving back what you gave to it. Life is like this mountain. Whatever you send out comes back to you, sometimes louder, sometimes softer, but always in the same tone." Ethan furrowed his brows. "What do you mean?" Master Li smiled knowingly. "Let's try something different. This time, yell something kind." Ethan hesitated, but decided to humor the old monk. He stood up, took a deep breath, and shouted, "I love you!" To his amazement, the mountain responded, "I love you!" The words echoed warmly, filling the air with a soft, comforting resonance. Ethan's face lit up. "It sounds happy." Master Li nodded. "Yes, because you gave it kindness. The world is no different, Ethan. When you send out anger, it comes back to you in anger. When you send out love, it returns in love. This is the great echo of life." Ethan stood there for a long moment, absorbing the lesson. He realized how often his anger had pushed people away, just as the mountain had echoed his rage. From that day forward, Ethan tried to be more mindful of his words and actions. Whenever he felt anger rising, he thought of the mountain and chose kindness instead. Slowly, the echoes in his life changed. His friends smiled more around him, his relationships grew stronger, and even he felt lighter inside. Years later, Ethan often shared this lesson with others. "Life is an echo," he would say. "What you send out is what comes back. So choose kindness, for it always echoes back louder."